Under the cool glow of the moonlight filtering in through the bedroom window, Pepe Miguel lay wide awake on his bed. The sheets, while clean and soft, lacked the warmth his wife used to provide. An empty space stretched beside him, its emptiness feeling vaster with each passing minute. The walls seemed to close in on him, each tick of the clock a stark reminder of the loneliness that had become his reality. On nights like these, his thoughts often strayed back to happier times, to the days when his wife's laughter filled their home, and the color of their future daughter's room was the biggest worry in his life. His faithful dogs had taken up spots at the foot of the bed. Their presence was comforting, yet not enough to fill the void left behind. They missed the extra pair of hands that used to pat them, the sweet voice that used to call them. His mind wandered back to the details of the date meeting. With Sergio, the unusual discovery of the book. The mystery seemed to deepen with each passing hour. He mused over the relevance of the book, a nagging suspicion clawing at the back of his mind. He wished he could share his thoughts with his wife, just as they used to analyze and solve problems together. His thoughts drifted to the woman found in the park, the life cruelly snatched away. He silently pledged to her that he would find her justice, that he wouldn't rest until he uncovered the truth. It was a promise that kept him pushing forward, no matter how much the odds seemed stacked against him. As the night wore on, his loneliness was punctuated by the occasional soft whimpers of his dogs. They too were feeling the absence, their whines, a testament to the silence that had once been filled with love and joy. As the moon traced its path across the sky, Pepe wrestled with the urge to close his eyes. Every time he felt himself drifting towards sleep, memories of the day jolted him back into a restless wakefulness. The shadows of the room seemed to shift and dance, the quiet night amplifying his swirling thoughts. Tossing and turning, Pepe Miguel spent the rest of the night piecing together fragments of information. The clues were disparate, and every lead felt like a puzzle missing its central piece. Yet, amid the fog of his exhaustion, an idea began to form. A starting point from which he could pull everything together. He knew where to begin. He decided that he would interview the family members of the victims. He had been so engrossed in the technicalities of the case, the forensics and the crime scene analysis, that he had overlooked a crucial element, the human connection. It was time to understand who these victims were in their lives, to find a common link that might lead him to the killer. Dawn broke, bringing with it a new day, and despite the toll the case had taken on him, Pepe knew he couldn't afford to back down now. He was fueled by an unquenchable thirst for justice and an ache to fill the void left by his wife. He wouldn't let another family endure the pain of losing a loved one. With a heavy sigh, he rose from his bed as his dogs lifted their heads to watch him. He patted them gently, promising to return later in the day. With a last glance at the empty space on his bed, he walked out of the bedroom, ready to face the day. He was about to dive deeper into the lives of the victims. A task he knew would be emotionally taxing, but necessary. He was ready to unearth the connections, ready to get a step closer to the man in the ballcap. He was ready to fight,